Kettlebell swings are a fantastic way to practice your hip hinge movement pattern. To start your kettlebell swing, all we're going to do is put our feet about shoulder to hip width apart. We're going to stand straight and tall with our chest up and our core squeezed. From here, all we do is bend the knees very slightly, and then the movement comes down to just moving the hips backward and then forward. We're going to start by slowing this down. So we get in our nice good start position, and like I mentioned, we just drive the hips backwards. Notice how as my hips are going backward, my knees don't bend anymore. They start the movement a little bit bent, but as my hips come backward, they're not bending anymore. That would be called squatting your hinge, and that would start to look something like this, where yes, your hips are going backwards, but you're also getting a lot of knee flexion as you do that. From here, in this back position, we're in our good back position, we're going to just think about pushing the hips forward. I like to think about somebody just pushing on my butt. We're going to now fully extend at the top, where now our knees will be fully extended so they won't be bent anymore. Our hips will be fully extended with our glutes squeezed at the top, and we'll kind of finish in this position. Then the weight will start coming back down. We'll rebend the knees a little bit, and then just focus on hips backwards and forwards. Now it's time to get in a rhythm and actually swing. Start with very small swings, focusing on the hip movement. As you get more comfortable with the movement and the timing, go deeper until eventually your back is around parallel with the ground. Don't rush this position. The most important things are to keep your back flat, abs braced, and not to bend your knees as the hips go back. We want to breathe by inhaling at the top as it starts falling, and exhale hard at the top on the way up. As you inhale, keep the abs squeezed and re-brace before getting back into the hinge. Before we get into my favorite drills to help you if you're struggling on any of the pieces we've mentioned already, I want to discuss what the arms are doing. We do not want the arms to do any actual lifting. They don't move. They're not going to bend, and they're not going to raise to lift up the kettlebell. All the arms are doing is holding onto the weight. We want all the movement to come from the hips going backwards and forward. The arms are just kind of along for the ride. We do want to make sure though that our lats are engaged and the upper back is tight. Make sure you see the video in the card above if you're not sure what that means, where there is a drill with a band that I use to help you just kind of feel how to engage and use your lats. The simplest drill to help you with your hip hinge pattern only takes you standing straight and tall. Get your feet, again, about shoulder to hip width apart. We're going to take our fingers, form an L, and place them on our hips. Then we're going to just think about pushing the hips backward. For some reason, this works incredibly well with getting people good at the hip hinge. As you do this, one thing you can do is hold this bottom position, let go, and hold this position, really trying to feel the tension in your hamstrings and hold the position on your own before coming back up. One problem I see with people learning how to swing and just hip hinge in general is really getting that full extension at the top, especially on the swing. When we come to the top, we want the glutes squeezed, hips fully extended, and we want the knees straight and fully extended. We'll also often be up on the toes. However, a lot of times when people are learning, they'll kind of swing to here, not getting full extension to the hips and the knees. This drill works really good in helping you do that. All we're going to do is grab a hold of a squat rack or something sturdy, get into a decent hip hinge position, and then we're going to just kind of pull ourselves forward, stand up straight and tall. We're going to hold on, and we really want to make sure the glutes are squeezed, the hips are forward, our knees are extended, our ankles are extended, and we have a slight lean back, right? If I was holding on to the swing, I'd be in that position. We just want to then hold this for 15 to 20 seconds, feel a nice burn in the glutes as you squeeze them and contract them that whole time, and then go back down into this position and practice as many times as you need to. That really helps you just feel out that final position, and so it makes your body easier to find it as you're doing the swing in a more dynamic movement. If you're struggling to do the swing, just keep practicing and working on these drills. I personally like to include them in warm-ups for something like 3 sets of 12 at a pretty light weight. We're just really practicing the movement and helping our body get warmed up for the main workout. Now, as you get better at them and more comfortable, you'll be able to swing deeper, smoother, and use more weight. Make sure to check out our technique video playlist and also subscribe to the Immortal Power channel for all matters of sports performance.